Hi everyone, Cole Chance here. Thank you for joining me. And we're gonna get into some hamstrings, low back area today. Both of those areas get really tight on people and they are kind of a cause and effect. One can cause the other. So we'll work on a little bit of both. You may sit a lot. That can really tighten up the hamstrings, which in turns go to the low back. So we'll get a hold of both of those today a little bit. And I'm going to show using straps and a block. So you can, if you have these, you can use these with me. And if you don't, you can not use them. So you'll be able to see that you could do either one quite easily. But I do suggest that you get these super helpful tools if you have them. So I won't use them quite yet, but let's go ahead and lay down on our backs, okay? So lay all the way long, put the hands up in the air and just start to take some big inhales here. With exhales in between, of course. Feel the belly rise and fall. And again, in and out. So really just arriving here. Now notice that the low back comes up off the ground. Should come up a little bit, maybe more so for some people. So on an inhale, let's reach our toes and our fingers far away from each other. That automatically makes me yawn. And that lifts the low back up even higher. Then on an exhale, we're gonna plug the shoulder blades in, flex the toes, and kind of flex the hands as well, and push the low back down to the ground. It's moving the spine towards the ground. Inhale, lengthen, lift up. Let the ribs expand, reach, 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 and then exhale, come down to the ground. Pull the belly towards the spine, spine towards the floor. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, bring everything in. Plug the shoulders. Good. Release. Let's bring both of the knees in. Just rock side to side here real quick. And let's take the right leg long. We'll keep the left knee in and not coming as much towards the chest, but more towards the shoulder. So kind of opening up to the side here. And you can hold the knee or wrap the arm around, whichever one feels better. And as you're doing this, go ahead and take your strap if you have a strap. You can also use, for a strap is really easy, just to go get a robe tie, or I've used a dog leash before. There's many, or a tie, a regular necktie. I mean, really whatever. You can use, you can find some things around the house easy for this. But let's take it around the foot and we'll start to straighten the leg. So if you don't have a strap, you can just hold onto the calf here. So there's a way to do it, no excuses. Flex the toes back towards the face. And notice that the left hip wants to come up. When you raise the leg, the hip comes up. So take your thumb to the left hip crease and pull it down. Notice how that comes down. So wherever you are, you're flexing the foot, feeling this opening in the hamstring, and you can bend the knee as much as you need. Take a big inhale here. And exhale, let it out. Good. We're gonna open up to the left. So take the strap in the left hand and we'll start to open the leg up. Maybe bring your elbow down to the floor. Notice that the right hip also wants to come up, so you can take the right hand and just place it there to encourage it down. So again, we're breathing here. You can have the knee bent, have both the feet flexed, and just breathing. Constantly asking yourself, am I breathing? Am I breathing? We tend to hold our breath whenever we start to get in any pose of restriction or uncomfortability, which is exactly the time we need that deeper breath. So start to notice your patterns. We slowly start to change them into a healthier way. And using your core, engage your core and start to bring the leg back up. You can switch hands here and we'll cross the leg over. So you may be able to cross it really far over, but we want to just cross it to, it's about a foot to the right of your face. Kind of gets more onto this outer part of the hamstring. So again, flexing the foot. You notice if the left hip's coming up again, you can take the left hand and pull it back down. Really flexing. The more you flex, the more it's sending the stretch all the way down. Another inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and come back to center. And take the strap off. Place the foot over the right knee as you bring it up, and we'll just take a quick recline pigeon here. One more big breath in. And then pulling the knee closer. And then releasing, and we'll switch sides. So left leg long, right knee in. Pulling the knee open to the right. Just take a few moments here to gently begin to open. And we'll start to grab for the strap and placing it over the foot. And straightening the leg. Maybe it doesn't come all the way straight, and that's fine. We're beginning to straighten the leg. Notice if the right hip came up, you can press it down with the right thumb. And we're just flexing the toes towards our face and pulling back. One side is most likely more tight than the other side. That's completely normal. One side just needs a little more love. One more big inhale, breathing into the sensation. And then exhale, we'll open it up to the right. Maybe bringing the elbow down to the ground. And maybe taking the left hand down to the left hip, encouraging it not to come up because we tend to kind of want to roll. So maybe it looks more like this and you're holding with both hands. It'll look different for all of us. Just getting the opening here. One more big breath in. And out. And then using the core, we'll come up and cross over. So only about a foot to the left side of the face. That'll really light things up right here. Notice if the right hip wants to come up and try to connect that sit bone down to the ground. Breathing deeper when you find yourself holding your breath. Recommitting to the breath. Good. Coming back up to center. Taking the right foot over the left knee. You can undo the strap here and we'll pull in. Recline pigeon. This side is much tighter. I heard someone say the other day that, you know, your sides are not twins. They're sisters, maybe cousins. Like they're not exactly alike. They're not supposed to be identical. They're just related. Another big inhale. Release. Good. Come back to center. We'll just take a couple rounds of rolling bridge right here. So again, the way that the low back is up, we'll start neutral. So neutral position is the low back is a little bit up. So let's push the low back down, and as you push the low back down, the tailbone starts to come up, and we'll inhale, come all the way up to about mid-back, and then exhale, we'll start to lower mid-back, low back, tailbone, and then let the low back come up. And then twice more, push the low back down, start to lift the tail, coming all the way up to a full extension, pressing into the shoulders, and then exhale, come down. So just getting some nice articulation here. One more time. Let's send the low back down as the tail lifts. And then all the way back down. Good. Bring the knees into the chest. Take a couple rocks side to side. And then take a couple rocks up and down. Maybe get a few cracks on the back. And then we'll cross the ankles. Plant the hands. And just kind of walk back here to a downward facing dog. Just getting a big full body stretch here. So we're not trying to find your most intense downward dog, just taking some pedals. Maybe you kind of turn to the left here, and we'll turn to the right. Just getting some movement. Then gaze towards your hands as you step forward. Send the feet wide, and we'll hang the torso low. Bend the knees, let the torso hang on the thighs. And come a little bit more into the balls of your feet than the heels. And get some traction through the whole back. Good. Start to walk the feet together. Inhale, let's halfway lift, so hands at shins, really tall from the crown to the tail. And exhale, bow forward. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the hands. Let's step back with the right foot. Drop the right knee. Inhale, let's come up. You can bring the hands to the knee here. So pulling back on the left hip, kind of pulling forward on the right hip. You can actually put your hands right here on the hip points and notice if they're center, in line with each other. So kind of pushing away here. Pulling up on the pelvic floor. And take one of your blocks. And we'll place it on the left side. So right off the left side of the mat. Let's take the left hand to the block. Maybe the left hand comes to the floor. You can also do this with the left hand on the hip. But the right hand will come out, and we're going to rainbow up and over. So like drawing a rainbow all the way over here. Reach, reach, reach to the corner of the room. Gazing up, spinning the chest open. So this starts to open up this back side body. Kind of the QL muscle, serratus there on the side. And take the hand to the back of the head, spin the chest open even more, pressing the head back into the hand. The more you spin the chest, the deeper it gets into that area. One more inhale here. And exhale, we'll come back to center. Plant the hands, straighten the front leg. So this is half splits pose, or half Hanumanasana, Ardha Hanumanasana. You can take your blocks, or you can plant the hands on the ground. Wherever you are, flex your foot back towards your face. That's really gonna intensify. And instead of coming straight down, we're going to stay up because we want to keep the integrity in the low back. So I can come down and round, and I'll get closer to my leg. But I want to keep the integrity in the low back. So instead, maybe you can bend the knee a little bit, lift the chest, send the tailbone, the sit bones, imagine sending them up towards the sky. Kind of almost feels like you're sticking your butt out maybe. That lengthens the hamstring and that gets the stretch. and I'm still able to stay up high. So pulling the belly in, lots of little things here. Flexing the toes back. You can also drag your hands back. So I'm not actually moving my hands, but I'm dragging back isometrically, and that's pulling my chest through. Another inhale. And exhale. Inhale, move forward. Lift the arms. Plant the hands, exhale. Take a big step up. Halfway lift, find length. And exhale, fold forward. Pulling the torso towards the thighs. And inhale one more time, halfway lift. Plant the hands. Let's step back with the left foot. Drop the left knee. Again, we're going to scissor the thighs together, so pulling left hip forward, right hip back as we come up. Hands to the knee, pulling the belly in, and pushing the hands away here. So we're not sinking real low because we're wanting to keep the hip points together. Not together, but in line. Another inhale here. And let's take the right hand to the block, to the floor, to the hip. The left hand will rainbow up and over, reaching towards the corner of the room. And you should feel this all the way from the fingertips down the side body, even to the hip flexors. So reaching here. And take the hand to the back of the head. Press the head back into the hand as you spin the chest open for 3 rounds of breath. Really fill up. So drink in an inhale. Let it out. And one more in. And out. Come back up. Ardha Hanumanasana. Straighten the front leg, half splits. So same thing here, flexing the toes back towards the face. Bending the knee as much as you need to, but we're staying up high. And maybe even bring the blocks up to their highest level. So you can still get an intense stretch no matter where you're starting, no matter how high you're starting. And you do that by bending the knee just a little bit, then sending the sit bones and the tailbone back and up. And again, kind of like you're sticking your butt out. You can really feel that. You can't see it as much. It's these little micro movements. So it's really nice that we start in your yoga practice, you start to gain this subtle body awareness that, a tiny little shift can affect so much. So keep breathing here. And dragging the hands back towards the hips, that pulls the chest forward. And then come forward, plant the foot. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. This time we'll step back into a downward facing dog. You can move blocks out of the way. Let's step the feet up about a foot into the corner of the mat. I'm just going to take a little twist here. So right hand goes to the left ankle or the left calf. We'll inhale with space and then exhale, pull yourself through, getting a good twist. And then inhale, lengthen, and again, pull through. Plant the hand, come back to the other side. Left hand to the right calf or ankle. Inhale, space, and then exhale, pull the chest through. And then again. Beautiful. Come down onto the knees. Child's pose for 3 rounds of breath. The knees can be together, creates a little more roundness in the back. Both knees wide and knees together and see which one feels better. Feel the
Inhale's pressing the belly into the thighs. Also feeling the back body expand. One more inhale. Good. Go ahead and come up.
Take a couple seated stretches. So let's bring the right leg out and the left foot into the thigh. Flex the toes back. Inhale, lift the arms up, grow tall, and then exhale, start to bow forward. Now, you can take kind of the same as in that half splits. If you bend the knee a little bit here, you can pull the sit bones up. That actually brings you closer to the toes as it flattens your back out a little bit. It will help straighten the back out. It's a good low back stretch. If you want a little bit more on the side body, then take your hands left, right, over to the right side. You can even pick up your torso a little bit and then set it back down. I can really feel this along the left side of the back body. If you'd like and you have your blocks, you can bring it right under your forehead. I love using blocks for this reason, just to bring the earth up to me and to be able to release the neck. The head weighs about 10 to 12 pounds. So when we're trying to stretch something else and the neck is just hanging, suspended, we're having to put some effort into dealing with it as well. So if we use the block, we can just not have to deal with it. Not have to deal with the head. Doesn't that sound nice? Another inhale. And release it out. Good. Start to come up. Bring both legs out long. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, fold forward. And we'll just stay for one more round of breath. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bow forward. Good. Come all the way up. Bring the right leg in now. Move this block over to the left side. We may use it. And then inhale, lengthen, grow tall. Foot's flexed back. Exhale, bow over. And again, you can have this knee bent. It helps to bring you a little closer to the toes and lengthen out the low back. And you can stay here where you can walk the hands over to the right side. And again, I kind of like to pick up my belly and then move it over the torso. So finding something comfortable here, maybe you can even take your head in your hand, or you can take the forehead to a block. Just take a few moments opening up the left side of the low back. The QL muscle is a deep, thick muscle, so it's nice to be able to give it a little bit of time to release. And the more you're reaching out, so you can always re-engage, it's nice to come up onto the fingertips as well. One more big inhale. And release it out. Start to walk back up. Again, for just a moment, let's straighten both legs out. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift a couple inches, grow long, and then bow forward. Good. Giving those hamstrings some attention. Slowly come up. And we'll just come into Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together here. Holding on to the ankles, rolling the shoulders back. One more big round of breath, pulling the chest forward. And crossing the legs, we'll just take a short little twist here. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, twist to the right. Lengthen, grow tall. Twist a little bit deeper, and one more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. So twice with the breath. Inhale, telescope the spine and twist. And once more. And twist. I hope you all can feel that you've created some space. We're always shortening our hamstrings by sitting and a lot of the things that we do, so giving some attention each day to expanding and lengthening them will be very beneficial. So paying a little attention to yourself, to your body, is extremely rewarding. So thank you for joining me today and letting me guide you through this practice. Again, cold chants at YOGATX. Namaste.